Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is my co-host, Nick Muley. And so, it's summer is officially here, and so 4th of July just around the corner. I figured this time we should cover the original summer blockbuster that has a 4th of July feel to it, and it is, of course, Jaws, the movie that has terrified millions of people throughout the water or terrified millions of people from going into the water ever since it was released almost 50 years ago.
I also want to point out too, by the way, hopefully everybody's doing in the Midwest is doing safe, by the way, because Don, I'm sure you know about the air quality, right?
I've seen it.
Oh yeah, it's. No, I just wanted to bring that up quickly. Something that I was not expecting to see happen. It's all the smoke from the Canadian wildfires just across the border, and right now, I don't know if you know this, Don. They're actually saying our air quality is currently the worst air quality right now as a result of the smoke. So for everybody who lives, everyone who lives in the Midwest and Canada, definitely stay safe and definitely try to not confine most of your activities indoors because it's not safe at all.
Yeah, I'll keep my windows closed.
Oh, our windows and doors are shut. My dad's outside, but he's wearing a mask while he's working.
Yep. Oh, here.
Yep, and Nikki will be coming on shortly, so I just sent her the link. So, yes, thank you, Nikki.
Yes, that is true. Aging, especially regarding us, he was 27 years old after the release of this film, and he was signed on to do this after Universal was impressed with his previous works, such as Duel in 1971 and The Sugarland Express in 1974.
Surprisingly, I still haven't seen Duel, which is really Steven Spielberg's first horror film, and at that time he was like,
well, it's more like a thriller, actually.
Well, I know it's more of a thriller, but it was actually on one of the scariest movie moment lists. So I guess in some people's eyes, I mean, it is true. People don't necessarily look at it as a horror movie, but apparently it certainly is a horror movie in some people's eyes. It was even on Svengoolie a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really? Nice.
I haven't even seen Duel yet, but when I saw that it was on Svengoolie, fortunately, I was able to record it. So one of these days, I'm going to sit down and be able to watch that one. I heard it's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah. So this movie was released in June 20th, 1975, at least here in America. I don't know that I know release date is different in in all sorts of countries, but and this movie is a favorite in my family because ever since when my dad first saw this movie in theaters back in summer 1975 with his buddies when he was still in high school, 16 years old, and then years later, I see this movie back in 1997, and I was only 5 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So and this is the movie that inspired me to study film.
There's a Jaws Easter egg in GTA v the Orca and Bruce are on the beach.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, especially.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think he's played GTA 5, but
I don't know that.
I've come across the Easter egg myself. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Easter eggs, this one's more like a reference than an Easter egg. There was we were just talking earlier about how Nick still needs to see Deep Blue Sea. There actually is a Jaws reference in that in the form of a license plate.
Every shark movie that has followed that has been released since the original Jaws will always pay some kind of homage to that film.
Oh yeah.
But and it should be noted, actually another film that should be brought up very quickly, and this was actually before Jaws came out, was I can't remember what it was called, but it was released about 5 years earlier, because everybody always thinks that Jaws was like the first movie that had like not only just dealt with a killer shark, but also was like the first shark footage. That was actually not the case. There was a shark documentary that was made again 5 years earlier in 1971, and that was said to contain the first ever underwater footage of great white sharks. So the documentary is preceded Jaws. I just can't remember what the documentary was called. I'm actually trying to look that up, but it's called Blue Water, Blue Death, and actually, it It is. It looks like it's available already. Like on Daily Motion, so you could probably watch it there.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'll have to take a look into that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
it's even got, and I'm just gonna say this, and this has a connection to Jaws. It even has someone in that film who later worked kind of as like I guess a technical advisor or some type of advisor for Jaws, who was an actual shark survivor, Rodney Fox.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with his story.
I'll talk about that a little bit later. I was gonna wait if anyone else joins us on the show.
Yeah. If Nikki joins us, or if Tom joins us, or if anyone else on the network joins us.
I sent the link already to Nikki, so it's up to her now.
Excellent.
Oh, speaking of which, here she is.
Hey, Nikki. Hey.
What's up,
Hey, everybody.
Nikki?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. So yeah, it's so summer's officially here, and 4th of July is just in this coming week, and so we decided to cover a movie that reminds us all about 4th of July, but also this, I believe, really soon is Shark Week, Nick, right? And
it's next Saturday, July 11th.
July 11th. Yes,
Oh,
so
wow.
that's around the corner as well. And
Hey, Clark.
Hey, Clark. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So, as we all know, Jaws started off as a novel that was written by Peter Benchley, who is known for writing all sorts of movies that takes place, all sorts of novels that take place in the sea, such as The Deep and The Beast, both of which were adapted to film as well. And I actually do have the novel right here.
Oh, you have the actual book. I didn't know you had the book done.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, this is a first edition, and it is not easy to get your hands on one of these. The first edition, yeah, because I didn't get this. I didn't only get this because I like the movie, but this has sentimental value to it. This originally belonged to my great aunt Rosemary Elmy, who is no longer with us. So when we were after she died, we went through her things, and I decided I'm going to hold on to this one. Oh, and also it has a picture of Peter Benchley on the back.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a pretty hard copy to get in this day and age.
It is. I've looked online, and people are just like people to go and auction these things for hundreds or even thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold up the front, Don, because
Wow.
I just like what Special Agent just said. Fun fact: the Jaws poster behind Don, the inspiration was based off the novel's cover. That's kind of cool. You got the poster of the movie in the back, and then you got the book. Clark's like, "What are you doing, Dad? It's Shark Week."
Yeah. And when I first opened this thing, it showed the price on here, $6.95 for this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm sure it's actually $695 when you try getting it today.
Oh yeah, now it is, because here, I looked inside. I looked inside to confirm, and by following the ISBN number, but I didn't even need to do that, because right down here at the bottom it says first edition. So
wow,
this is the real deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, it's not easy getting a hold of one of these.
I'm surprised it's still in great shape.
Well, not in perfect shape. It's still in great shape overall. Yeah, it just has a few.
Looks really good.
Just a couple of tears here and there, but
it's just age.
Yeah, this book is almost 50 years old, and I should point out that the script and production for this film was greenlit, right before the film was even right before the book was even published in 1974. So,
oh really?
Yeah, they made a movie off of a novel that hadn't been released. Didn't know if the novel was going to be popular, but they were taking a lot of risks getting this film project off the ground.
See, I often wondered again if they got some inspiration from that documentary, the Blue Water, Blue Death film. So, because it kind of makes you wonder, in a way.
Yeah, it does. Oh, here, you are absolutely right. Especially in Carter Sauce. Yeah, Peter Benchley did make a cameo playing a news broadcaster, a news reporter during the 4th of July when he was covering the story. It's a brief scene. He's basically covering, saying the Amity Island has now opened its waters after they have been struck with a terror in the shape of a killer shark. I'm trying to, yeah. Wait, I have a lot of first edition books locked off okay.
Oh, in case you guys want to see if you don't mind, Don, I'm just going to share the screen for a second. So in case you guys want to see this earlier film that preceded Jaws, this is that film. It's just a poster of it. This is that film, Blue Water, Blue Death.
Oh,
that was made 5 years before Jaws was.
Wow.
And it's not that long of a film, too. I think it's only just about a 50-minute film, but no, it's about an hour and a half. But it's like I said, fortunately, it is available to watch, so it's probably worth checking out at some point.
Definitely,
Good movie.
for sure. Yeah, and so this film became a huge success when it was released, especially here in America. Like everybody wanted to. I've heard stories about people seeing it like twice or even 3 times in theaters, and then. So it became a huge hit. Like it only had a budget of like $9 million, and then it became over 400 million in the worldwide box office.
Yeah, at one point it was actually considered like the most successful film of all time. That lasted for about 2 years until Star Wars came out in 1977.
That's right. Yeah. Man, yeah, Steven Spielberg got beaten by George Lucas on that, and then they worked together on other films, including the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah,
which of course the brand new one is coming out
this Friday. I'm willing to give it a chance, even though I was disappointed by Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to give it a chance.
Deaths of the Blue Water Shark.
Okay,
I'm not sure what Clark means by that.
I'm not sure what he meant by that. Yeah. Yeah, but wait, what's this?
Oh, hey, Sarah.
Hey.
Oh, Sarah. And this film is also known for the shark itself. That was a lot of people said, "Oh, the shark rarely shows up in the film until like about an hour and 21 minutes in." And the reason behind that is because the shark constantly malfunctioned, and there were times where it just sank to the bottom. Yeah, and I think it was because of the way it was manufactured. It was made out of some elements that did not maintain very well in the salt water in the Atlantic. So,
well, I think at the same time, perhaps it was kind of a blessing in disguise because what Steven Spielberg did too was use those classic POV shots. You never really could tell exactly you knew it was a shark, but you never knew what it was going to look like. So, the idea was it was like hiding the monster for a while. And Jaws, I've always heard, is the perfect horror movie because it relies on a lot of those elements for a classic horror film.
Yeah, that's right. And then who could forget that ominous and iconic theme song that was created by John Williams. Yeah, John Williams, who would also do the music. Who would also do the music for Star Wars?
I just got the IMDb page for me, Nikki, of Blue Water, White Death. So it's Don. We'll have to check that out one of these days.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, let me pull this up.
Oh, it's hot.
I was gonna say, what's it like out in Australia?
Cold.
It's cold.
We're 0.0.0.
Jeez.
Oh, Celsius. Yeah.
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 Well, you see, obviously, too. I mean, it's for us. It's been unusually cool in our area. I mean, normally in this time of year, it should be like 90 degrees. But I think honestly, again, because of the smoke from the Canada wildfires, it has something to do with the cooling.
That's right.
In the area. It's like down in the 60s or 70s.
Oh wow.
Yep. And when you said 0 degrees, when you said 0 degrees, I'm like, oh wait, no, that's Australia, so that means Celsius. The metric system. Yeah, the metric system that the whole world uses except for us, Burma, and Liberia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know about the other two, but that's interesting.
Yeah, we're just one of the 3 countries that do not use the metric system.
Learned something new.
Oh, here, like a rocket just went to the bottom. Yep, that's right, Claire.
John Williams, of course, he did the music for that. He was fantastic in it.
Yeah, the man is brilliant, no question there.
You can never forget that theme song.
Yeah,
it's even like and there's been a lot of, since then, it's been used obviously for a lot of the Shark Week document like shows, and I think there's even been a song that's even used it. Yeah, it's oh man, who am I thinking of? Oh my God, it's like right. Oh, Jimmy Buffett, he used that song for his song Finch. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. It never gets old.
Sarah, the word Amity reminds me of Amityville. Well, it does take place in New York, one that should be noted.
Yeah. And it takes place like on Amity Island is supposed to be like a small island off the coast of New York when really the film itself was filmed at Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I figured somewhere on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah. And of course, like Martha's Vineyard, it's well known for wine, and and like that's where all the like a lot of the wine is made.
Yeah. Sarah's like, well, it is true. They get opposite. Sarah just brought up that you guys get opposite weather here. It's winter there and summer here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cold.
Southern
I'm
hemisphere.
feeling it today. Woo.
Man, I don't feel cold or hot weather because what is I don't know. I have no idea what Clark is talking about, so I'm like, really
I think it's another Superman reference. Yeah, that's his thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, Clark Kent, yeah.
Oh man, but also weather did play a role in like the film facing issues. Yeah, like there were some days where they just had a rough time filming because like because of water's temperatures and people on the beach getting cold. So yeah, there were says like the film like it's had its share of issues, not just because of the shark, and also there were some cast members that didn't get along. In particular, Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw. Like it's like it really made their characters clashing all the more believable because there really was some tension between the two on set.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because Robert Shaw, like during the time of filming, he was still going through some alcoholism and he was having trouble with some lines. Yeah. But,
oh boy.
Oh yeah, but I am impressed though that he managed to deliver that Indianapolis speech with just one take.
Oh yeah, that is like one of the most notorious and best scenes out of that entire film.
Oh yeah, it's where he describes when he was on the Navy vessel, the Indianapolis, the U.S. Navy vessel that delivered the bomb which destroyed Hiroshima in World War II.
Yeah,
and then when that ship got hit with Japanese subs, torpedoes, the ship sank, and the survivors had to deal with a whole new nightmare, and that is the sharks that are circling below them.
Although the reality is, it's always to just be true on things. Though they supposedly say that they consider that the worst shark attack ever. Although 500 plus of those men died in the water. Now, those 500 men actually didn't die all from shark attacks. In fact, I think a very tiny portion of them probably were. It was said that the sharks inflicted most damage after the men died. Mm-hmm. And some of these recovered bodies were literally stripped to the bone. Yeah. So very gruesome sight.
Yeah, the teeth on those sharks, especially great whites, are no joke.
Well, in the Indianapolis, it wasn't great white. It wasn't great whites that attacked them.
Oh no, I'm just saying like lots of the shark teeth are no joke, especially like the great white. Yeah, I'm saying sharks in general is what I mean.
Yeah. Well, in this case, like for the USS Indianapolis, I mean, again, another historical reference was that when these men were out in the water, there were actually four main species of large shark lives out in the open ocean of the Philippine Sea. So you had blues and silkies. They were the most common. They travel hundreds of miles in search for food. Makos are the fastest species of sharks in the world. They are known to jump as high as 20 feet out of the surface of the water. Also in those waters were some of the most aggressive sharks in the world, oceanic whitetips. Although they are now speculating there may have actually been a fifth species, and that was one of the most dangerous of them all, the tiger shark, which will literally eat anything it finds. And I mean, all 5 species have been known to grow over 10 feet long, and they're easily capable of killing humans. So the great white may have not played a role in this, but these other species in the singing of the Indianapolis was just as bad.
Oh yeah, totally. Man. Oh, here, Lauren is saying, hang on. I think my next painting will be Jaws.
Oh, check it out.
All right, go for it. Go for it. One the shark movie that started it all. Oh yes, it started like the whole craze with sharks. It also started me studying film. Yeah, that's right. Jaws is the reason why I study film.
Along with the documentary.
Oh yeah. Ever since I first saw that movie at 5 years old. I can't say I recommend that for every 5-year-old, but yeah, I was different from other 5-year-olds.
Oh, Don. Wow. Nikki, I just got your information here. So here's something in case you wanted to know, Don.
Yes.
It says here what Nikki just sent was November of 2021. The last fatal shark attack in Western Australian waters was in November of that year. Oh. Well, unfortunately, a 57-year-old man was killed by a gray white shark at Port Beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sarah's got a question for you, Don. What was it about the movie that inspired you to go into film?
Just like the suspense of it, and like just the story, and overall just the shock factor that it played. You know, like because it's just like I never saw a movie anything like it before Jaws. Because when I was little, I was into Disney stuff, all kinds of Nickelodeon and all those things. The typical little kid things. Yeah, not saying that stuff is just for little kids, but more specifically, I was watching little kid programming that was from those channels. But anyway, so yeah, Jaws was the first like horror film I've seen, the first thriller, and I was just like I'm like hugely inspired to look at this film like as an art form, like to look at just the film, just film in general, to look at that as an art form, because my grandpa Don Elmy, who yes I was named after, he was a freelance artist. He inspired me to look at film in that way, like an art form. I remember him telling me, art is an expression, Donnie. Art is how creators really bring their image to life, whether it's in a painting or on a screen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I gotta show this one, Lauren. It's that purple dinosaur.
Jesus Christ.
I had a brain in
it. Billy's got another question here. Was this Spielberg's second or third or fourth movie he directed? I thought it was like his second. Because I know
he's directed more than 2 before this. Like the 2 biggest ones before this were Duel and Sugarland Express. But I think this might have been his 4th or 5th film at the time. Let's see. So he was still in his late 20s at the time this movie was made. Like this guy from the get-go, Steven Spielberg had talent.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Oh yeah, and like everything he put a lot of passion into just about all of his work, but this especially, because this is what really boosted his career. Spielberg became a household name after this film, and
right.
Oh yeah, he even allowed his dog to star in it. Like the dog that you see inside of the Brody house, that was Steven Spielberg's real dog in real life.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Geez, we got a lot of questions coming in. Nikki, which shark movie did you find terrifying? This or Open Water?
Well, I think this. Well, Jaws left more of an impact on me, because it had some well-timed jump scares. It had some great suspense, but Open Water does create a terrifying scenario as well. Man,
well, and I've kind of been somewhat of a witness to something like that, because remember I told you that story when I was on that cruise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to a few other people that they were left out in the open ocean for hours, and never heard anything about sharks or anything. But I wouldn't have been surprised if they were surrounded by sharks during that time. Thank God they were able to find them in one piece.
Yeah. Totally. Man.
Yeah, mine is Open Water number 3.
Oh yeah, the third open water film did take place in Australia. Yes, that's right.
Well, and also too, it should be brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
based
it
on a
is.
true story.
Yep, it's based on the true story of Tom and Eileen Lonergan.
Yeah, they were
that's
basically. It's exactly like what you see in the film. They were truly left behind, and they were floating out there in shark-infested waters.
And they never found them.
No.
It's truly a terrifying scenario.
Oh yeah.
You know, I should just bring up, and I just said this a few minutes ago. It's also interesting that I mentioned about that. Even one of the crew members of Jaws was actually a shark attack survivor himself. I don't know if you might know who this is, Nikki. Someone by the name of Rodney Fox. You know who that is?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
He's to this day still an Australian shark researcher, but he himself was actually a shark attack survivor. And
Oh, wow.
I should just bring it up quickly. It happened now over 60 years, actually almost 60 years ago now. And this is what probably eventually made him into a shark researcher and even became like a crew member of the film. It was, I got the page right here. In 1963, on December 8th, while participating in the 1963 South Australia Spearfishing Championship at Aldinga Beach, Fox was attacked by a great white shark and badly bitten around the chest and arm. His story of the attack and escape has been published many times. He is regarded as a miracle survivor of one of the world's worst non-fatal shark attacks. In the attack, not to get graphic, but Fox's abdomen was fully exposed and all his ribs were broken on his left hand side. His diaphragm was punctured. His lung was ripped open. His scapula was pierced. His spleen was uncovered. His artery was exposed. And he was minutes away from his veins collapsing due to the loss of large amounts of blood. The tendons, fingers, and thumb in his right hand were all cut. And to this day, he has a part of a shark tooth embedded in his wrist. His wounds required 462 stitches after the attack.
Man, it's amazing how you could survive something like that.
Now, I'm not going to show, obviously, like any I'm not going to show like the graphic pictures, but I will show you a photo of at least a scar that he had after he recovered. So I will show you a quick picture of the scar after he recovered, because it got news all over the world. So this is what it looked like after he was stitched.
Man,
and he's truly lucky he survived such an attack.
That is insane.
At that time, he was only 23 years old.
23.
Yeah. He was born 1940s, so by 1963, he would have been 23 years old. And I do have a photo of what his scars look like now later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously you can see it's healed, but he still has the scar.
Oh yeah, I mean you can still see the scar along his ribs. Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely had an angel watching over him, Lauren.
For sure.
Wasn't his time to go.
Clark is saying, "My God." Here, Miss Gracious, there was also a shark attack last week in that poor man. Oh, he didn't survive.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Man. Yeah, sharks. They when they cause blood loss, they cause some serious blood loss. One that could easily end a life.
Well, like what I just described, as graphic as it was, that's how much that's how much damage they can do to you when you're attacked.
We had a professional surfer attacked by a shark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he punched it in the fins and then escaped.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard that's like one of the things you should do, like punching the fins. Yeah.
Things, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, and another weak spot too is to go after its eye too, because it's very sensitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's its weakness. The eyes and the fin. I heard I was told that the gills are a weakness, but I'm not sure about that.
They kind of are, but if you're getting attacked, they're kind of hard to reach. So if you can't reach the gills, then you got to go for its eye. And there's a misconception supposedly that you should hit it on the nose too. It actually I found out don't
That'll take
ever punch a shark on the nose, because that will actually only just
worse.
provoke it and make it even more aggressive. With a smaller shark, yes. With a larger one like a great white, no.
Oh yeah. Here, Angelo, he sent me a message earlier. Angelo, I apologize. I was driving at the time, and my phone went off, and I didn't see that I got that notification. So, yeah, I apologize. I'll take a look at this when I get a chance. And yeah, because there's a law here that you can't look at your phone while you're driving. It's dangerous.
Yeah, same here. Please don't do
so-
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, don't. I've seen too many reported cases on that to be very concerned.
Please don't.
Yeah. And let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, there was one famous shark survivor that I do know of is, let's see, her name was Bethany Hamilton. I'm sure you've heard this story, Nick.
Yeah.
Yep. Who was, she was a teenage girl who was surfing, but then she had her left arm torn off by a shark. And even though they got a hold of the shark that did it, they couldn't reattach her arm. But this did not stop her from surfing. She continued surfing to this day, continued doing what she loved. In fact, let me pull up. I think I have a picture here. Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
She's got
a picture of it, Don.
Yep, this.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, that's the same photo Nikki just showed.
Yeah. So, and that's her that's the surfboard she was attacked on.
Yeah.
You could really see that bite mark in it.
Oh yeah.
And she's got a
See,
movie.
the other thing, I was actually just watching something on the news just like about a week or so ago. Here's the other thing too that should be brought up. They're actually saying sharks are probably are around us much more than we think when we're in the water, including the gray white. Because in this day and age, with what we got, like with all the drone footage and stuff, like when people take videos of over the ocean, the times when they shoot down from the ocean and there's people in the water, they often find sharks swimming relatively close to them. And
here
it's actually kind of it's pretty much like that everywhere. Yeah,
it should be agreed.
But there's actually drone footage of people who've been in the ocean water, and there's actually gray whites that actually just swim by, and the person never even notices. So, they're a lot. I think they're more around us, much more than we originally believed.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, that was me.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, Soul Surfer. Yeah, they actually did make that into a movie. They adapted that to film, the movie Soul Surfer, back in 2011. It starred the girl who played Violet Beauregard in the Tim Burton remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, she was in that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that girl's name. What was it? Oh yeah, Anna Sophia Robb. That's her name.
Got it wrong.
Yeah. When I think about the movie, I think about Bridge to Terabithia, and oh god, I don't want to see that movie again. It's super sad in the end.
I've seen that movie, but not that version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bridge to Terabithia. Yeah, it gets you. Anyway, so there's like I've seen documentaries on like shark attacks, how people ever since they've seen Jaws, they just have that fear of sharks, and it's gotten so bad to the point where Peter Benchley himself, he said that if he had known the true nature about sharks, he would never have written Jaws, because he didn't expect people to be so terrified of sharks. And even it's gotten to the point where people are hunting sharks and driving great whites into the endangered species list. And even and this is one of the things that irks me like crazy, is the fact that people are doing this thing called finning, cutting the fins off of sharks for shark soup, which doesn't even add anything to the taste of which doesn't even add anything to the taste of it. The shark fin soup.
It's just it's not meant in any way, shape, or form to be a flavor. It's just to add structure to the soup. And I know a lot of cities, including here in Chicago, I'm fortunately glad to know that shark fin soup has been banned throughout most of different parts of the country. Have they banned it? I was going to say, have they banned it over there too, Nikki, in Australia?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Now, I know unfortunately, there are still a lot of people who are fighting back against, especially a lot of the, Asian communities, because apparently, I don't know how it really is. It makes any sense. They consider it a delicacy in a lot of these Asian markets, but they don't seem to realize that this could be an environmental catastrophe.
Yeah.
If they keep killing sharks, and it's the same thing down. It's I just don't get why people want to do that. Part of Chinese medicine.
I mean, it's like what if someone came up to you and cut off your arms and legs? Because that's essentially what you're doing to these sharks.
Yeah. So even if these communities are, if these companies are still doing, they don't seem to realize that what they're doing is illegal, and that's I'm just very satisfied to know that a number of other countries are now starting to follow suit and ban it completely.
Oh yeah,
and that's what's kind of helped out with kind of bringing back the shark population.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really is like cruelty to animals, Lauren.
Yep,
it is.
You're nail on the head right there.
Yep. Because all they do is they just cut the fins off, and then I've seen it on Shark Week. They just throw the body back into the water, and without their fins, they can't swim. So basically, they're drowning and bleeding to death.
Exactly. Yeah. They just leave them to die. If the shark can't swim, then they can't bring the water through their gills in order to breathe. If they can't breathe, they sink to the bottom and die.
Well, and there are some sharks that are known that don't need that water through their gills, but even if they don't, with their fins cut off, they'll bleed to death, which is probably an even worse death, because that's got to be a slow, everlasting pain for them.
Yeah, because that's what sharks do. As they swim, the water goes through their gills, and their gills absorb the oxygen that they need to breathe.
Right. See, sharks are just trying to fend themselves off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they take even the new movie. Well, not new. It was back in 2018 when the Meg. Even that movie took a jab at that issue.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
It's like just some people don't seem to realize. It's like they think that by killing sharks will make beaches safer and stuff like that. Some people also fail to realize, sharks have been around much longer than we have. They've been around for 400 million years, even longer than the dinosaurs. So they're pretty much among the original inhabitants of this planet. So, I just don't get why people yes, they're dangerous, but I just don't understand why they take it upon themselves and kill them. Like I would tell people these creatures have been around for millions of years, much longer than us.
Yep. And this affected Peter Benchley.
Sorry, what, Nikki?
And apparently 73 million sharks alone have been killed each year for their fins.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, this became such a huge issue. Even Peter Benchley, he during the last decade of his life, because he saw the kind of negative impact this film had on real life sharks, that he actually became like an advocate for marine biology or marine wildlife conservation. He became a advocate to that cause until the very end in 2006. I believe that's when he died. What was it? Pulmonary fibrosis.
Yeah, there's a lot of shark attack survivors actually join that save movement, because the ones like who've lost. I mean, you see all these shark attack survivors who lost limbs, arms, legs. They, as horrific as their encounters were, they come to that realization that it was either mistaken identity or whatever, and they actually do try to fight for these sharks' lives. So they don't see them as like these horrific, aggressive, man-eating animals.
Mm.
They are making laboratory meat now. They could probably do that with shark fins. Seriously, Sarah? That's sickening.
It is. Very, very, yeah.
No.
See, I'm just gonna say this. I mean, and I know it's been said on Shark Week before, is that it's like where these people think that they come up with the idea that killing sharks to make beaches safer is nothing but a fallacy, because all you're doing right now is removing something from the ocean's environment that is desperately needed to keep the oceans around the world healthy. I mean, they're essentially they're very much like us, where we hunt deer and we hunt them. So not necessarily because we want to, but it's to keep their populations down. Sharks are pretty much the same version. They're basically the hunters of the ocean, and without sharks, all the other type of fish species as well as seals can overpopulate, and it could have a huge disastrous result. I mean, they would overpopulate and it would destroy the entire ecosystem immediately. I mean, in other words, once the sharks are gone, it won't be long before other things follow. And then next thing you know, we're going to start wishing we had those sharks back. So that's why I've always been, I've been kind of like that avid fighter too, of, stop shark killing.
We have these guys that go out and protect.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Steve Irwin's Sea Shepherd. Check it out. So they actually have people that patrol the area, like where sharks are known to live.
Yep. Yep. And marine life.
Oh, man, I wish I don't know if we have anything like that, but if we don't, I wish we did. Sea Shepherd. That's really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Oh, Sarah says when the shark's gone, we will just replace them with robots. Robo sharks. Wait, no. Nobody make a movie out of that. Forget I said that.
Yeah, scratch that down. It won't be long before sci-fi gets that idea.
Yeah. Forget I said that.
Yeah, don't tell on yourself. Don't tell on yourself.
Hi, Glenn. Thank you for
They've already done that.
Oh, they did? Figures.
I would love to see Indiana Jones take on Jaws since there was a comic. Do love Whale Wars. There's actually a comic on this.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
If I already heard that. Oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did, Don.
What have I brought into this world?
Look what you did. That movie comes out. It's on you. That's on you. I was never here.
Oh man, but so Jaws did really well, not only financially but also in the Academy Awards. It won 3 Academy Awards. So one was for the best original score for the theme song. That and crazy thing that the theme song when John Williams played that for Steven Spielberg, just those few notes, E, F, E, F notes. Like at first, Steve Spielberg thought it was like a joke or something, but no, he was being serious. And what he originally thought was a joke ended up getting one of the 3 Academy Awards for this film. The other one, I believe, was for the editing. The other one, I think, was what was the last one for? Trying to remember. It was also nominated, I believe, for Best Picture. Well-deserved nomination, but it didn't win Best Picture. That went to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, okay. I figured it was that film.
Yep. Let's see.
I'm actually looking something else up that's involving Jaws. Oh, speaking of, you mentioned India. It's my fault. Everything's always my fault. Damn it. Speaking of which, this is what I wanted to show you, Don.
What is it?
Lauren's seeing the new Indiana Jones movie this Thursday.
I'm considering seeing it too.
See Indiana Jones with Vince Vaughn in comedy against sharks.
Oh my god. I'm really hoping Sci-Fi is not watching this.
Yeah,
they are probably. Well, the new Transformers movie 7, it's got a shark in it.
We
can never seem to stop making movies about sharks ever.
No.
Yeah, but sci-fi makes the worst of them, though.
Yeah, even Tommy Wiseau. You know who Tommy Wiseau is, right, Nick? Who made The Room?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's got a shark movie on the way.
Oh God.
I know. Oh man. But
have you seen Black Demon?
Black Demon?
I haven't seen it, but I do remember. I think you sent that to me before. Yeah, they made a movie on the Black Demon. Don.
I did a reaction to the trailer for it, and Angelo said that he saw it. Yeah, he was talking to me about this the other day. He said he saw Black Demon, and he said it was garbage.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
Really?
And from what I've seen in that trailer, I could agree with that because the CGI shark looked cheesy. The dialogue was terrible. I mean,
And what you know what I actually
What
did
was-
see the trailer. I did see the trailer for it. Also, why go to an abandoned oil rig with your family? I mean, that's not really a place that you take your family out to.
Sorry.
that is exactly what I was talking about in that reaction video I did for the trailer. I mentioned the exact same thing, and they actually did have an explanation for it in the movie. They said that like the local drunkards in the bar were targeting like the family, so they took off on a boat towards the towards that oil rig.
As far as I know, I mean, no. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to bring your family out to, or really supposed to have a vacation on an oil rig. That's as far as I know.
No,
I'm just watching their on.
Oh, geez, Sarah.
What the? Okay. I'm just
It's,
watching
hey, Sarah, Hey, Sarah, it's like I always said, Sarah. Like, there's so many families out there that are on, like parents that are annoyed with Baby Shark, and I'm just thinking, okay, you want to kill that craze? Then show your kids Jaws. Show them Jaws, and then just Yep. You just show them Jaws and tell them that's what Baby Shark grows up to be, and then craze is over. Done.
Yeah. Not watching that movie looks a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I probably said something like this before on a few shows. But the fact that this family goes onto an abandoned oil rig, which attracts the black demon, is already telling me that this family, the fact that they go to this abandoned oil rig, let me just rephrase that, is already telling me that going to something like that isn't even the worst thing that they've done that day. I'm sure they've probably done much worse.
They will end up like you and go into film instead of being doctors. Maybe. Maybe Shark is so annoying. I mean, it is now the most watched video on YouTube.
Yeah,
yes,
you probably watch.
My daughter loves the dancing.
They probably watch.
Here, you know what? Let me look up so many views it's got now. Hang on.
Oh no! Oh, I thought for a second you said you were gonna. I thought for a second
I'm
you were
not
gonna say,
playing it.
"Wait, you're gonna show that? What the hell?"
No, I'm not playing it. I'm not.
Okay, good.
Because apparently this like music video, this was made to like make kids not afraid of sharks because there's all kinds of bad reputation. It's like, okay, I can agree with that to some extent, but seriously, the song is so overdone. Oh, here, 13 billion views.
13 billion views
on YouTube alone. 13
and how old
billion.
Is this video?
It's been around for like 7 years, I think.
Oh, okay.
My niece and nephews used to dance to that when they were little. So, yeah, like when my young. No, turn it off. No, I'm turn off. Turn off. Mute her mic. Mute her.
Oh man!
Oh, God. Baby Shark to put your child to sleep.
Oh God! I can't see that.
Night, you're gonna get tapped by a shark.
Don's re-traumatized.
No, the only way anybody could ever the only way anybody could re-traumatize me is if they showed me Cannibal Holocaust again, and I will not watch that again.
Yeah, that was a brutal film.
Haven't seen it.
The only.
Oh yeah, don't. That's not a film.
Keep it that way.
No.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. Good, keep it that way.
I'm just gonna say this now, just to warn. I mean, just so you're aware, it's the first film. It's really the first film that actually details and shows actual animal killings on film.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, don't watch it. It's not only graphic and horrific; it's devastating to watch.
Yep, I had to watch it at the university for a film class, and I was just like horrified by what I've seen. I looked around. I looked around me to see like in all the other my classmates and everybody else, see how they're thinking I can't not be the only one who was just horrified by what I'm seeing. And sure enough, everyone had shocked expression. A few of them were even in tears.
It was actually a film that for a couple weeks after I've seen it. I mean, I wasn't there at the same time Don saw it, but and I'm not even exaggerating. I didn't eat any meat for a while after watching. I mean, I basically became almost a total vegetarian. Took a while basically to get back into eating meat related food because it was just too upsetting. It was just too upsetting to me.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. It's a very upsetting movie. Left sure.
I don't remember. I don't remember that during Katy Perry's Super Bowl performance. Did she do something like that?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, I should mention this. I should mention Jaws actually like one of the early plans for it. They actually were thinking about having an actual shark in that movie that was trained, and I'm just thinking, yeah, good luck with that.
Well, they did have some real shark footage in the movie, and I think I might have talked about this before.
I'm talking an actual shark on set.
Oh, on set. Okay, yeah.
It's like, yeah, good luck with that.
Especially if you're dealing with a great white. I mean, I've never really heard of that many great whites really being trained, even in an aquarium. I don't even think they really take in great whites. I mean, at least as far as I know, because they often usually focus on other species. Because, well, first things first, they're so big. They're just like, they're giants. They're so big that I don't think really any aquariums can really hold them. So that's why I think they usually go for a lot of the smaller sharks. I mean, I think the largest one they've ever really had are tiger sharks.
Yeah, that's right. And so Steven Spielberg, they decided, we're going to use an animatronic shark, which by the name, Steven Spielberg actually named the shark Bruce after his lawyer.
Of course.
And also before I even mention it, yes, Bruce is actually this was actually the inspiration for naming the shark Bruce in Finding Nemo.
Yep, I figured, and because that is a great white shark himself.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Great whites die in captivity. That is very true. No one's ever been able to keep one alive in captivity. It's just never been done. It can't be done because I imagine they died from the stress of not being able to have the vast open ocean to swim through, because that's where they spend their lives, traveling miles and miles across open water. And if they're in a confined area, I mean, no, that's not even remotely possible to keep alive. No.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, that's actually why they tag them a lot instead of capturing them, because they know there's no way to have one in captivity, so they often tag them most of the time. Lauren.
Yeah, like I said, a live shark on set, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Oh man, that's what? Man, I had something else.
I found that great white shark that you talked about in the museum the other day.
Oh yeah,
it's in Florida.
Oh, hey Jeremy.
Oh hey Jeremy, good to see you.
Good to see you. Yep, coming a real classic here.
Oh wow, check it out. See, a lot of people often wonder too, like, what's the largest gray white shark that's ever been documented so far? If you guys remember in the movie Jaws, they said it was about 25 feet, I think.
Yeah, and the animatronic was in fact 25 feet.
Yeah, so far in reality, there hasn't been a shark, at least not yet of that size, but there has been one that's come very close, because a lot of times these sharks gray whites usually grow anywhere from 13 to 18 feet long, 19 feet long. But the largest one so far ever recorded as of now, again, I don't know if this has changed or not, the largest one so far that's been recorded is 23 feet long. I remember this.
That's the animatronic that they use, and there's Steven Spielberg himself.
Okay. I was going to say.
That's one of my favorite production shots of the entire.
Oh, geez. He's talking about his birthday. Did you know his birthday was yesterday, right, Don?
Oh yeah. I wish him happy birthday. Yes, and happy birthday again for yesterday, Jeremy.
Jeremy needs to have a baby shark rock hopper to go with. Oh, damn it!
Hang on, 1 minute.
Don't give him ideas. Don't give him any ideas.
1 minute.
Oh, no.
Didn't recognize him. Oh yeah, well, Steven Spielberg was a lot younger back then. He was in his late 20s at the time the movie was being made. So, yeah, I mean,
you're lucky the internet's not working.
Yeah. Oh, here, Steven Spielberg wouldn't put one of his actors through anything he wouldn't do. Oh yeah, he was always very caring for like the people that he worked with, like especially the actors on set.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it. No.
What?
I'll have to think about that, Sarah. Damn it, Sarah. No, you do not mix that with peanuts in this horror script. No.
What?
No. All right, so let's see. They're going to try to have a real shark on side. When they're not looking, it's going to bite someone.
Yep. It's like the shark's like, hey, look over there. What? Oh, yeah. And the thing about sharks, like especially great whites, they're when they lose teeth, they just grow them back super quickly. Like, yeah. So,
This is exactly what I was fearing. Talking
It's
ideas,
coming.
everything and everywhere. If someone says something, it'll have notes. So thanks a lot,
It's
Sarah.
coming.
I've probably written it down. Look what she did.
And let's see. Oh, okay.
Oh, is it that song again?
Yeah, enough. No more baby shark.
Sorry, Sarah.
And so
I love the opening sequence. So the opening scene where it introduces you to the shark theme, and then like the POV shot, and then the kids partying, and then Chrissy going into the water, but the boyfriend is too drunk to go with her. Passes out on the beach. But then she is tugged around and dragged under the water by the shark. And the way they did this, to really give it that real look to it is the actress. So what was her name? Susan Backline, I think her name was. They attached a harness to her that to her feet, I believe. That the crew on shore were using to pull her, but they never tell her when she was going to be pulled. So, yeah. So that made her reaction when she was getting thrown around like that super real, genuine.
Yeah, that's kind of a smart idea, and it's wow. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it really gave that sense of there's no react. There's for her to react like that, like to make it all genuine like that through just not telling them what's going to happen. I mean, that's a technique that's constantly used throughout horror films. So where one of my favorite examples is also Screwed Up. Oh, yeah.
Screwed up her back? What do you mean? What does she mean by that?
I think she pulled a few muscles or something in her back from that.
Ooh,
so,
yeah, that will do it.
Yeah, stunts. Everybody's got to remember, when you go and do your own stunts, it does not come without risk. I've explained this on the podcast a few times. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One of my favorite examples of the director not telling the actors what's going to happen in order to get a genuine reaction out of them is in my favorite horror film, Alien, that chestburster scene. None of the actors, no one knew that was going to happen. The chestburster coming out of John Hurt. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah, so the reaction you saw in there was real.
It's actually kind of cool, when they give genuine reactions to certain moments on that in certain movies.
Yeah. No reaction is real like the real thing.
Well, the other thing too, and it's also again worth bringing it up. That opening scene of Jaws too also did kind of send a message as well, because this is true, is that shark attack occurred. I think it was early morning, around dawn, if I'm correct. Was it dawn or?
It was around pre-dawn hours.
Yeah. So that obviously did give a message of reality, which is that,
and they actually had John Hurt on that.
It did give a true message of reality when it comes to shark attacks. Is you definitely don't want to be swimming at night or dusk or dawn, because those are often sharks' favorite hunting hours. That's when they really patrol the oceans. The ocean is theirs at that point.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
There's a video. I'm gonna have to try to look for it, Don. Actually, Nikki, I'll send it to you too. Of some guy that had almost like a giant selfie stick that he mounted his camera on. I mean, this thing had to have been probably about 30 feet long, maybe even longer than that, because I guess he was on a boat, or I don't know if it was a cruise ship, but he took this giant tripod or whatever the hell this thing was, and he put it into the open ocean water to kind of give an idea of what the ocean looks like after dark, especially when a ship is going by. So he put it down into the water, and he had I guess his camera had a light on it too. It wasn't night vision. It was like it had like a light to it, and it was able to view the dark water very clearly. And not long after he puts it in the water, all of a sudden you start seeing these shapes moving around. You start seeing eyes being reflected. And as they got a little closer and a little closer, you could tell immediately that those are sharks. Yeah, it's really like a peekaboo moment, but that's clear evidence to show that they take over and control the ocean at night. So it was actually kind of cool to see, because you always wonder what it's like in the ocean after dark if you're on a boat or something. And this guy actually managed to provide that POV shot of like, and when I saw it, there was so many of them, like big, small, different species. You could see even on the top of their fins, like literally in the dark. So it was quite a smart move that he made.
Oh yeah.
And the camera, fortunately, was firmly attached. So like it's not like he lost the camera. He was able to have it, keep it on without losing it. Oh yes, this Don you should know about.
Yeah,
Greg's gonna be doing this show for five nights a week, which I'm really excited for him for that.
Oh, it's gonna be a 5 and like spending it at Freddy's. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Oh, speaking of which, they just released a new trailer today. I got to do a reaction video to that soon, along with several other things I've been getting requests for. But yeah, I've been trying to get caught up with requests, but the construction outside has been making it literally impossible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all that drilling, the hammering. I'm just like, guys, just be done with it. I'm thinking, it's
I know.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it's got to, the frustration.
Yeah.
Just feeling something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just bringing you guys around.
Oh, here. You guys mind if I just found that video. Do you guys mind if I show just a quick minute of footage of it?
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
I found it on my phone, so I'm gonna need at least a minute to look for it on YouTube. But it's really interesting. And what is it called? It's
Okay,
dropping a go. It's called dropping a GoPro under a cruise ship. Now I haven't seen the majority of this video yet, so this will definitely be interesting in checking out.
Okay.
I can't get that song out of my head. Why did I? No.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Yep.
It's actually 2 different pieces of footage. They did a day footage and a night footage. So I'm going to show the night footage, and let's see what we can find here. This will be interesting. All right, so right here we go. So this is a GoPro. This is the footage I was saying. The GoPro. It's underwater. You guys can see it well, right? Up.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's one.
There's one right there. Couldn't tell what type of shark that was. A lone fish there. Wouldn't that be cool if like a shark just jumped up on screen and grabbed that fish?
I mean, I got GoPros. I'd be able to do this myself if I wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, yep. There's one out in the background. It's actually really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that, right underneath.
If a great white jumped out right now, I'd freak.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Oh.
I think those are, they look like reef sharks to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like some species of reef shark.
Oh, that's a cool shot with from up above.
Yep,
That's cool.
there's the sun.
No, I think that might actually. No, that's a light. That's not the sun. This is.
Oh, that's not the sun. Oh, that's like. Oh, this is nighttime. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the moon either. It wouldn't be that bright.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no,
if
no,
that's an
definitely
advantage. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's. I was about to say
thought there
that's definitely not the moon.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to show a lot more to it. That was interesting either way.
All right, and another scene that was like terrifying in Jaws was the scene where Alex Kittner was killed, where it showed. Yeah, that film, that scene was a demonstration that the shark means business, and there nobody's safe, and yeah, like that scene, there was supposed to be more to it. Like I just love the suspense, the build up. It's like you're just waiting for something to happen, and then it shows these kids it shows underwater shot, POV shot of the kids. They're kicking in the water, but then goes right towards the raft, of course, and like very briefly, you see the threshing, but then you see the blood and him going under. That scene, there were actually. They intended to have the mechanical shark in that scene. I actually did find an image, something I have not seen before until now, surprisingly. Let me pull it up. Present, share screen.
And while you're looking that up, it should also be working.
Nick, it's up.
Oh, it is
see
up.
it?
Sorry. Oh, it's right there. See, I was on another page. Go. I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah. I know, like this was unused footage, obviously, but yeah, my guess is that when they were having the shark do this, it just malfunctioned and sank to the bottom, like it typically did throughout the production.
Now, is there actual footage of it, or is it just photographs?
I believe it's just production shots. I wasn't able to get a hold of any footage of it, any unused footage.
Did they learn that music comes on? Get out of the water.
Yeah, that's right. Whenever you're in the water and you just hear an orchestrational suspense theme, when you hear an orchestration like suspense music, just doesn't matter where it's coming from. If you hear it, you get out.
that music actually, what was it? Director Rob Reiner, who was in a horror documentary, actually talked about that music at one point and said, that music is what's such, a big, memorable moment. It makes you start thinking, uh-oh, get out of the water immediately.
Yeah. It's like, how crazy would it be, like, if you're in the water and, like, you start hearing that music? It's, like, seemingly coming from out of nowhere, and you're just thinking, oh, God, okay, I got to get out now.
Lauren said that she's gone snorkeling using a GoPro.
Sweet.
Yeah, it'll be like.
I've been in your pool, Nick, with that GoPro. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. There's I actually remember this video. It's been a number of years now, and it is kind of scary at first, but then you kind of breathe a sigh of relief once you find out what exactly it is. There were two scuba divers. I don't remember where it was. They were scuba diving. They were out in the open ocean. And one of the guys was wearing a GoPro. And, obviously, all you just see around him is just the other guy and nothing but open ocean. At one point, he turns his head to the side, and all of a sudden, this huge face goes literally like right at the camera. And you could hear him screaming. And it's actually fun. And then you find out later on, thank God it wasn't like a great white. It was actually a whale shark. Which,
a harmless species.
Yeah.
A harmless one, but there's this giant face comes right at the camera, and you can hear him screaming like crazy, like, ah!
Just cooked dinner, and I hope nobody falls in the pool on the footage a lot. It's gonna happen, Clark, regardless. Yeah, people fall in the pool like all the time. What do you think of the photo bomber?
Oh, yes. The photo bomber.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like another. Yeah, like what are some scenes that you consider terrifying in Jaws? Well, like what scenes scared you guys the most?
Are you asking both of us or each?
Everyone. I'm asking both of you. I'm asking the audience. Just everyone.
A lot.
I guess I could start off with this part. Always made me jump. It wasn't necessarily with the shark itself. It was when Richard Dreyfuss was investigating that boat that was turned upside down, which was believed to have been caused by the shark as well. And while he found a shark tooth, all of a sudden that corpse comes out. It's missing an eyeball. And that music, I'm not sure why, but I always forget that scene, and it scares the hell out of me every time. It probably will this Saturday when we watch it.
And that body was supposed to be Ben Gardner, one of the local fishermen that Richard Dreyfuss had crossed paths with when he arrived in Amity.
Yeah,
Ben Gardner, he was the one that said, "Hello, Beck, young fellow, how are you?" Yeah, that was him. And so, Steven Spielberg actually kept that prop, that severed head, in his office for quite a while. But then Universal said, "You know what? Here, give us the head. We'll just keep it displayed here in our park at Universal Studios."
Well, they probably made the right choice, because eventually that prop would have fallen apart. That is called zombie underwater.
Mine's probably the same as Nick.
Pond attack. Oh yeah, Pond attack is pretty terrifying as well. Hang on, you know what? I think I said a more unused footage from there, a production shot, I guess it was of mechanical shark footage that didn't fall through with the final cut. Here, Pond attack. Look. I could have sworn it was another production shot. Oh wait, yep, I found it. Let me open that tab. Yeah, this was also not seen in the movie here. Hang on.
See, Sarah was asking the same thing I thought we were going to be talking. She's asking, where were we supposed to discuss Jaws too?
Yeah, because I remember you were saying, Nick, that we should just cover the first Jaws movie since it's about to be 4th of July, and this movie has a 4th of July kind of a feel to it.
It does.
Yes.
So I decided to go with it. Here.
And there is something else I should. Oh, what is that? Another prop of it, or?
Yep,
oh, wow.
That's another production. That's another production shot from that pond scene.
That would freak me out, I think, if I didn't know that it was.
See, what's really cool, and it should be worth bringing up, is that in addition to the prop they use, and I probably talked about this on another show previously, was they did use some real shark footage, which was as a recap. I mean, Nikki, obviously, I think I told you that they actually shot that footage off the coast of Australia, and the scene when Richard Dreyfuss, who's in the shark cage in that movie, when they shot the real live footage, that was actually somebody else in there, and their intention was to shoot him from far away so people didn't know it was him, but also to try to get shots of the sharks. And they split Jaws in his dental checkup.
Smile.
But yeah, they try to get those close-up shots of the sharks closer, to the bottom than they were to the cage, because it was to give that impression that the sharks were ginormous, basically almost larger than life in a way. So, and that was a pretty smart move they made to give that impression.
Oh, I wanted to mention one last thing about the pond attack. All those extras, where they had a whole bunch of extras that just came on for that one scene, for to shout, "Oh my God, shark! Yeah, the water!" and all that. They were paid about $50 or $60 for that, just to be there for that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I imagine now that with the movie becoming a huge box office success, they were probably thinking, I should have asked for more.
Yeah. Another thing that should be brought up, since you mentioned about 4th of July, Don, I think it should also be worth bringing up kind of the true story behind Jaws too, because most people don't seem to realize that Jaws is loosely based on a real, not just on the USS Indianapolis, but a real shark event that inspired that film. And that's undoubtedly the Jersey Shore attacks of 1916.
Yeah, that's right.
So that says, go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I was about to say, there was some striking, some details that had some striking resemblances to what we see in the movie. You know, like they had people going to the beach. You know, kept the beaches open despite the shark. You know, they've had kids losing their lives. There was some similarity.
So what it says here is the Jersey Shore shark attacks of 1916 were a series of shark attacks along the coast of New Jersey between July 1st and July 12th, 1916, in which 4 people were killed and 1 injured. The incidents occurred during a deadly summer heat wave polio epidemic in the United States that drove thousands of people to the seaside resorts of the Jersey Shore. Since 1916, scholars have debated which shark species was responsible and the number of sharks and animals involved, with the gray white and the bull shark most frequently cited. And that's the thing too, is that these shark attacks that occurred on the Jersey Shore weren't really actually in the ocean. They were in rivers and nearby lakes. And that's what some people debate was most likely the bull shark that was more at fault than the gray white, because the bull shark is the only type of shark species that can survive in both fresh and salt water. Great whites are unable to. But unfortunately, see, you have to remember, shark research over 100 years ago was still in its infancy. It was not well understood as it is now today. And a lot of the early shark scientists back in the days actually truly believed that all other species of sharks were harmless. People thought if you were in the water with them, you were safe. They actually believed that there was only one type of species of shark that was considered the true man-eater, and that was undoubtedly the gray white shark. They thought that was the only one that was considered dangerous. So as a result of that, they were hunting gray white sharks along the Jersey Shore. And I actually do have a photo of a newspaper account from this. You guys can get kind of like an idea out of them catching particular sharks. So this is an actual newspaper article of it.
Oh
wow.
Philadelphia Insider.
Yeah, it was in the Philadelphia Insider. And then I also have a photo of exactly a map of all the attacks. So to kind of give a quick, this won't take long, to kind of give the true story of Jaws. It says between July 1st and 12th, 1916, 5 people were attacked along the coast of New Jersey by sharks. Only one of the victims survived. The first major attack occurred on Saturday, July 1st, which is right here, at Beach Haven, a resort town established on Long Island Beach off the southern coast of New Jersey. Charles Epting Vanson, 28, of Philadelphia, was on vacation at the Ingleside Hotel with his family. Before dinner, Vanson decided to take a quick swim in the Atlantic with a Chesapeake Bay retriever that was playing on the beach. Don, that's like Pippin from Jaws.
Yeah, it is.
Shortly after entering the water, Vanson began shouting. Bathers believed he was calling to the dog, but a shark was actually biting Vanson's leg. He was rescued by a lifeguard, Alexander Ott, and bystander Sheridan Taylor, who claimed the shark followed him to shore as they pulled the bleeding Vanson from the water. Yeah, I remember the report. They said that this shark literally would not let go, and they literally said that whatever's attacking him, this thing is going to come out of the water. But before they could even get a look at it, it let go, and that's when it swam away. As they pulled Vanson's left thigh was stripped of its flesh. He bled to death on the manager's desk of the Ingleside Hotel at 6:45 p.m.
Wow.
And the second one, again, I'm trying to go really fast with it. Despite the Vanson attack, beaches along the Jersey Shore remained open. Sightings of large sharks swimming off the coast of New Jersey were reported by sea captains entering the ports of Newark and New York City, but were dismissed. The second major attack occurred on Thursday, July 6th, at the resort town of Spring Lake, New Jersey, 45 miles north of Beach Haven. The victim was Charles Bruder, a Swiss bell captain of the Essex and Sussex Hotel. Bruder was attacked while swimming 130 yards from shore. A shark bit him in the abdomen and severed his legs. Bruder's blood turned the water red. After hearing screams, a woman notified 2 lifeguards that a canoe with a red hull had capsized and was floating just at the water's surface. Lifeguards Chris Anderson and George White rowed to Bruder in a lifeboat and realized he had been bitten by a shark. They pulled him from the water, but he bled to death on the way to shore. According to the New York Times, women were panic-stricken and fainted as Bruder's mutilated body was brought ashore. Guests and workers at the Essex and Sussex and neighboring hotels raised money for Bruder's mother in Switzerland. That's just absolutely insane.
That's insane.
See.
That's nuts.
It is. DJ.
There's the next 2 major attacks took place in Matawan Creek near the town of Keyport on Wednesday, July 12th. They both occurred on the same day. Located 30 miles north of Spring Lake and inland of Raritan Bay, Matawan resembled a Midwestern town rather than an Atlantic beach resort. Matawan's location made it an unlikely site for interactions between sharks and humans. When Thomas Cottrell, a sea captain Matawan resident, spotted an 8-foot-long shark in the creek, the town dismissed him. Around 2 p.m., a group of local boys, including young Lester Stillwell, only 11, were playing in the creek together. One of the boys had brought along his pet dog, which was swimming with them as well. At an area called Wickoff Dock, they saw what appeared to be an old black weather-beaten board or a weathered log. A dorsal fin appeared in the water, and the boys realized it was a shark. Before Stillwell could climb from the creek, the shark pulled him underwater. The boys ran to town for help, and several men, including local businessmen Watson Stanley Fisher, 24, came to investigate. Fisher and others dived into the creek to find Stillwell, believing him to have suffered a seizure. After locating the boy's body and attempting to return to shore, Fisher was also bitten by the shark in front of the townspeople, losing Stillwell in the process. His right thigh was severely injured and he bled to death at Monmouth Memorial Hospital in Long Branch at 5:30 p.m. Stillwell's body was recovered 150 feet upstream from the Wickoff Dock on July 14th. And finally, the 5th and final victim, Joseph Dunn, only 14, of New York City, was attacked half a mile from the Wickoff Dock nearly 30 minutes after the fatal shark attack. So actually, no, I take that back. There were 3 after the fatal attacks on Stillwell and Fisher. The shark bit his left leg, but Dunn was rescued by his brother and a friend after a vicious tug-of-war battle with the shark. Joseph Dunn was taken to St. Peter's University Hospital in New Brunswick. He recovered from the bite and was released on September 15th. He was the only one to have survived the attack. All the others.
Wow.
So that's the true story behind Jaws.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually did make a movie out of that, 12 Days of Terror.
Yeah, they did. It was a TV film. I haven't seen it yet, but
I believe it had John Rhys Davies. I know him. He's also Indiana Jones movies. Yeah, he played Sala in the Indiana Jones movies. I believe he's reprising his role in this one. Let's see. He was also Gimli in the Lord of the Rings movies. So I've seen him. I've seen him and do some good work. Let's see. Oh, let me catch up in the comments. Jones could have got an R rating instead of PG. Well, that's the thing. PG. There was so much back then that you can get away with a PG rating. So
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just be thankful that it's not like modern PG.
Yeah.
Oh, here. Underwater Cage that was by Dick Warlock, who played Michael Myers. And oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Yep. He was one of the stuntmen who performed the underwater sequence when Richard Dreyfuss was inside that cage. And that also had another suspenseful moment, another well-timed jump scare, like when the shark passes by him. He's getting his the poison, that ready, and then the shark comes up right behind him out of nowhere. Man,
You may want to answer this question.
Bad News Bears here. Yeah, Bad News Bears had a PG rating. Yep, that is absolutely true. Yeah, you look at movies like this, it's like they had, like not as the kind of standards we have as far as rating movies today. Like, Jaws has the exact same rating as Frozen.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
Yep. At least here in America, we have the MPAA rating system. So,
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah,
what's
like here in
I was going to ask, what's the ratings? What's it called over in Australia, Nikki? I've often wondered what it is over in Australia.
GPG, M15 plus, R15 plus, RA plus, and then it stops.
Interesting.
Oh. Yeah, because I know it's different in other countries, so I'm always curious about that.
Yeah, it depends where you are, basically.
It's R-rated for us.
So DJ was asked, you may want to answer this one, and I pretty much know the answer for this.
Yes. DJ, on the 4th of July, we're not going to be we're not going to be doing the FearFans podcast on that day because it's 4th of July. All of us Americans are going to want to be out there celebrating. Nobody's going to want to be.
I was going to tell you that too, Nick. We won't be able to be on for next week because it's 4th of July, and there's just not going to be enough time. Not to mention too as well that unless the only type of audience we would even get from 4th of July would obviously be people from other countries. Not many. In other words, not too many people from America are going to be watching.
Yes, everybody's going to be. We're celebrating America's birthday. So
yeah. And what? Believe it or not, there actually is another country that celebrates 4th of July as well, and that's Denmark. Did you know that?
Wow.
You guys know that? Yeah, Denmark, despite being a European country, they've been doing that for over almost 120 years. I think since 1909. So it's the only other country that celebrates the 4th with us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here. Babyface Thumper said G, PG, PG-13, and R. Okay, so they have the same kind of rating system that we have in Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, same in the U.S.
Yep, because I do have this right here, VHS. I'm sure you're familiar with this. For somehow I got like a Canadian copy of it. It's like you can tell right here. Like there's the Canadian rating down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can tell like this wasn't like the same as like American, but it's like not that I have issue with it. It's just that I thought it's interesting how they sent me a Canadian version of the copy.
Mm-hmm.
But VHS. That's another one we got to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love anthologies.
Well, don't forget too, Don. Of course, I know it's still June technically, but just a few months from now, we'll be seeing a lot of anthology stories because I'm still going to try to get my stories up for this upcoming Halloween season to have them broadcasted. I mean, we've already watched a few of them, but I'm actually going to be. So I don't want to say this fully, but there's going to be kind of a marathon that's going to be happening real soon. I don't have the intention of just doing this on Things Network. I'm actually trying to do this on the other networks I'm a part of as well. Okay. But I'm just going to say we're going to be seeing an anthology marathon happening real soon. But it will understandably only be broadcasted when there's no shows in progress. Like essentially, they're going to be kind of like the commercial breaks. It actually will help keep the networks running when there's no shows that are running.
Yep. Yeah, DJ. Again, we're not going to be covering it on the 4th of July, though.
No, we won't be.
No, we're not going to be on the air.
No.
Let's see. Greeks, Romans, and
Spartans.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Are you trying to tell us something, Clark? I do not know what's going on with you.
Speaking of anthologies, Nick, one that we definitely got to cover on Halloween or around Halloween season is this.
Oh, yes. That's a great film.
Trick or Treat, yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I was working at I don't think I ever told you, Don. I should have had you come out to this when I was still working at Spirit Halloween, but we had an animatronic of whatever his name. I already forgot his name.
Jason.
Yeah. We had an animatronic version of him.
Nice.
I should have had you come to the store when I had the chance.
What is the next movie? I'm trying to decide either Deep Blue Sea or The Meg, because the Meg 2, The Trench, is going to be coming out next month
or not next month, in August.
Well, you know, actually, Don, I don't even know if I told you. I got some of our local friends like Rochelle and whatnot. They want to watch that movie at some point with us next couple weeks.
Who does? I'm sorry,
Rochelle.
Rochelle. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, what, Sarah? Hang on 1 second. I got to see this question. Is Jack Skellington worth? Oh, that's. Oh, you know what? Sarah just brought up something. You know what that means, guys. I got to show you guys what Jack looks like now. It's been a couple months. Well, I mean, unless you have anything else you want to say, I usually save that for last. So if there's anything else you want to bring,
we could save it for later. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll save that before we end the show.
Right. Yeah. So,
but no, Sarah, he's not. I will tell you this: you will like how he looks now. But he's all decked out already.
So I want to mention a little bit more about this animatronic shark. It was like designed and built by Joe Alves, who was like the production designer, and the shark weighed about 1.2 tons, and it was 25 feet, just like Robert Shaw said.
Yeah, exactly.
And Martha's Vineyard, and they chose Martha's Vineyard because of the vast ocean side that it had. You know, plenty of open water to work with. It had plenty of open water to work with. It had a pretty good, solid enough kind of depth to work with. It's about they think 35 feet of water, so it's not too deep. If the shark was going to be, or not if, when the shark was going to be sinking to the bottom because of the constant malfunctions.
Here. Yeah, whatever did happen to the animatronic.
You know, I'm not sure. You know what? Let me check.
While you're looking that up, DJ also makes a good point. This upcoming Saturday is also Canada Day, so their anniversary is coming up. Yeah, just a few years ago was Canada. Actually, I think it was already a few years. I think just a couple years ago they just recently turned 150. Yeah.
Drop my phone.
Oh, here we go. It is, let's see, the last surviving mechanical shark created for the movie Jaws, famously nicknamed Bruce, has been fully fully restored to his fearsome glory and has received special berth at the at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in LA. So, yeah, it's in Los Angeles. It's at the museum. I
don't think they would want something like that going after shooting it.
Yeah, they would want to keep that thing preserved somewhere. Yeah. So, yeah, they the parts that they constructed the shark with, it just wasn't the kind of thing that's not sort of meant to be in water. So, hence the malfunctions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Also comparing the movie to the book, I did notice several mayor changes after of course reading this. There was the motivation with the mayor was different in the book because he wasn't just the mayor in the book wasn't just motivated by we needed the summer dollars. He was owing money to the local mafia in order to, so it had to keep the beaches open to make money for that. And also there was a subplot where Hooper had already known Ellen Brody, they had known each other in the past and were lovers, at a fling, and so that created a bit of tension. And the way the shark was killed in the book is different.
How do they kill in the book?
Let me see. Yeah, they poisoned it, and right when it was about to go after Brody, it just stopped and sank. So,
okay. Well, I guess the ending of the movie, is far more satisfying than the ending in the book. Just instead of just sinking down and then that's it.
Oh yeah, yeah. They just it's that's how they ended the book. They poisoned it, and right when it was about to kill Brody, it just stopped and sank.
That's it.
Yeah, and also Matt Hooper dies in the book. Yeah, like
yeah,
so
that's
was
what I heard too. In the book, he dies, but in the movie, he survives.
yeah. Oh, here.
I'll
Hello,
be back
Irene.
in a minute.
Oh, hey,
I'm just going to
Irene.
grab a drink. I keep sneezing. Sorry.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Hey, Irene. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're just
Back
from the dead.
And yes, they electrocuted in Jaws too.
Oh yeah, Jaws 2 they electrocuted it, and Jaws 3 they blew it up with the grenade that was still being held by by seriously. How did that shark not choke to death if it was still in that part of its throat?
And usually
How
they
is
don't
the
leave
shark-
stuff in their mouths like that.
That's
They devour
see,
it.
this is like what this is the point. Like Jaws 3 is where the writing started to get lazy.
And how about I gotta say, Don, and how about that death in Jaws 4, where they just like picked at it or something like that, or
they inserted this device that made it like mad or go crazy, but then when they hit it with the boat, it just blows up. Like just death by it was just death by spontaneous combustion. I could not make this up. But to be fair, there actually was a alternate ending to the shark's death in Jaws: The Revenge, where it just simply gets impaled by the front of the boat, by the bow, and it just sinks to the bottom. At least that would have made more sense.
Probably
does not change the way I feel. It does not change the way I feel about that train wreck of a movie, but it still would have made more sense if it ended that way.
Oh, check it out, guys! Irene had said that she did go to Hiroshima. Wow.
Oh, yeah, there was
the atomic
Don't make
bomb
enough
site.
sushi for
Yeah.
everyone.
That's a good one. That's actually pretty good.
Seriously, I can never get over Jaws 3. How that the shark hunter Roy's body was still in that shark's throat. How did that shark not choke to death? Why didn't it devour him like it did with everyone else that it killed in this movie?
I don't know. I just often wondered too.
Oh yeah. Oh, and speaking of sharks, the sharks in the movies, they did make novelizations of the Jaws sequels that they gave, where the writers actually gave names to the sharks, like because of. Wait. Here, stay with me on this one.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I just knew what you're gonna.
So the mechanical shark, since the mechanical shark was named Bruce behind the scenes, they gave the names. They used that as inspiration for the names of the sharks, the novelization sharks. Where like the novelization in Jaws 2, the shark was named Brucette, like he was female. It was female because it was a larger shark. So Brucette. And then in the novelization for Jaws 3, the shark's name was Brucetta. and then in Jaws: The Revenge, the shark was named Vengeance. A shark named Vengeance. So yeah, Brucetta, and Vengeance.
They should have called her Sheila.
Yeah, so the shark was a female in Jaws 2. And I forgot to mention this in when we covered The Shallows. The shark in The Shallows was female.
Well, and that actually does make sense, actually, because it's often said that a lot of species of sharks, including the great white, are actually said to be much larger and even more aggressive than the males are.
Yes, because of that, and also because when it showed the shark being impaled by the rebars when it was chasing Nancy to the bottom, its underside didn't show any male reproductive organs. Yeah, yes. Yeah. It didn't have any male organs. So I thought, okay, this shark is definitely female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell hath no fury like a female score.
Oh my God. Vengeance. Name for a shark that has vengeance. Oh my God.
See what happens when you don't get to go to the beauty parlor at a pedicure.
I love that, Ali.
You know someone was looking.
Oh, here, Universal is lucky that Jaws wasn't a box office failure, just like Tremors from 1990, because both of them were hard to make. Oh, yep, that is very true. I mean, Tremors was not very well appreciated at first. You know, like it wasn't like you would think that with just Kevin Bacon alone in that film would have made it a huge success, but
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, the movie just wasn't doing well when it was released.
Wait a minute. What, Sarah? He says Batman would have a bad shark called Vengeance. Okay, now that's actually kind of smart.
and I cannot get over this revealing mistake that even Roger Ebert had talked about when he reviewed Jaws: The Revenge, is that Michael Caine, when he jumped in the water to escape the shark, to escape Vengeance when it was attacking his plane, and when he climbed back up onto the boats, his clothes were dry. And
that's right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, very simple solution to that mistake. You know what that is? Have him jump in the water because you guys are surrounded by water. That would it's like easy mistake to fix. So just have him jump on the water and do another take. That could have taken not even a minute.
Irene's like, well, if you beat it enough with a baseball tag in laws.
When I just think about Jaws: The Revenge, I'm just thinking, come on, Michael Caine, you're better than this.
Yeah. Didn't you say that he only joined because he was getting paid like a lot more money than usual?
Yeah, he was doing it to pay off a summer house, apparently.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why he was ever in it in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here. Jaws 4 is once again the kill the franchise. It's so bad the series ended. Well, they were planning to end the series anyway. It wasn't because people didn't like the movie. They were planning to do anyway. They only did this because they made enough money from Jaws 3D to make one more Jaws movie. And it's just this is a prime example of how, just because you can make one more doesn't mean you should.
No. Yep. See, Michael Caine don't do water. Michael Caine can do what he wants. I like these comments are all saying about Michael Caine. Oh, damn it, Clark. Batman already has a dog named Ace the Bat Hound, so why not have a shark named Vengeance? Oh, and Irene's like, well, you want to see sharks? Come visit Nikki and me. Well, I mean, you get obviously, I mean, I know you guys have sharks all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really hear too much about the sharks often in Japan, actually. Although I know they have, I know one of their species. I know they got them, but I know one of them they have is the goblin shark.
Oh yeah, that's right. And and people are still going on with this debate, I guess, to whether or not megalodons could actually exist. It's highly unlikely compared to all kinds of experts, but there have been a few examples of where we have rediscovered, living animals that were thought to be extinct. Like there was the frill shark that was thought to be extinct for a long time until Japan discovered one of them, like off coast.
Yeah,
the frill shark. It really looks prehistoric. I've seen footage of it.
And obviously, you've seen the teeth of megalodon, which are huge. I mean, they're like massive. I mean, they're like bigger than the palm of your hand, which just goes to show how big they really were. And actually, I think it's probably worth bringing this up since you brought a megalodon. Don, did you guys remember? This can't believe it's already been 10 years already since this has been released. Do you guys remember that shark documentary that was released during Shark Week where they had that megalodon special? You guys remember that special at all?
Yeah, one that was definitely like.
Oh, Nikki. Okay, so Nikki. So 10 years ago, they made the special where this triggered a lot of controversy. I mean, they never made another film like this ever again afterwards. It was supposedly they were showing a piece of footage of college students who were out together out in the ocean. I think it might have been out in South Africa. off the coast of South Africa. I could be wrong, however. So it's just like your typical day. College students, they're out on the boat, they're having fun, and then later at night, while they're having dinner, suddenly something hits their boat, and the water starts pouring into the boat. You could hear all these kids screaming. You could tell that they're being attacked by something, and until at one point you hear one of the kids yelling, "Oh my God, shark!" And supposedly these kids had disappeared and have never been found. And they were,
Oh, wow.
It wasn't really necessary that they were trying to look for these kids, but the footage led to the belief that they were actually attacked by a megalodon, because no shark of any size can really take down a boat like that. And this is a pretty big boat. And oh yeah, that's right. The poisonous jelly.
Yep, that is actually true. I actually saw a series that was being shown on YouTube where that was from Australia, where it was showed like like lifeguards there, like I think in Sydney, they were showing them having to treat all kinds of people that were being stung by a Portuguese man of war.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. They called them like blue bottles. I think that's what they were calling them.
Blue
Something like
bottles.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a
Not
kid
pretty.
that was like in terrible agony. That was, oh man, like the stings on that they inflict are no joke.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Nikki, obviously, I think
Well,
you
no,
said it
rescue.
before. You yourself have been stung by one. Did you know that, Don? She's been stung
No.
by one.
Yeah, I
man.
got stung by one. Short story, my husband decided to go four-wheel driving on a beach. And we got bogged. And he's like, go get out. So I was like, okay, no worries. Didn't realize I was surrounded by blue bottles and started pushing the car, and I had blue bottles just attached to my legs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
And you said it was, and obviously you said it was extremely painful, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh here. Oh here. Sharks eat jellyfish. Okay. Yep.
They do.
See, sharks they do serve a purpose for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Nessie could be a plesiosaur.
Oh,
She's referring to the Loch Ness Monster, which is also known as Nessie.
I figured. Oh yeah, I figured.
But what I was saying though about this footage that was released of the supposed megalodon attack, they went on to the search to try to find evidence, and along the way, they showed supposedly other pieces of footage of unusual movement in the ocean and whatnot. Like people claim they captured photographs. They even said that supposedly there was a photograph. They supposedly said there was even a photograph that was taken during World War II, and this was apparently from Nazi files, which showed, I don't know if it was like a Nazi submarine, but just next to it is this giant fin. I mean, it really made a lot of people believe that this was real, but unfortunately, they found out later on it was fake, and it really pissed a lot of people off because it was like the modern day version of Blair Witch. People thought it was real, and they believed it. When they found out it was just made for entertainment purposes, it really pissed so many people off. And
it'll be pretty.
After a year or so, they never made another film like that again. They stopped immediately.
Oh yeah,
never been broadcasted again either.
Hey Nick, so basically the audiences were like, "Because this here is real."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, that's an inside joke that we have. There's this SNL skit with where Kenan Thompson, he plays like inmate who is participating in a scared straight program. Oh yes, I'm drinking the body armor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's to add some legitimacy as far as like actual sightings go. I mean, like you were saying, Don, about how it's unlikely that megalodon would still be existing today. The only, being the cryptid expert, on this, there's only ever truly been two legitimate actual sightings of what supposedly was megalodon, both of which had occurred 60 to 100 over 100 years ago. But to start off with this, so a little history lesson for you guys. Although no solid evidence indicates continued existence, there have been purported sightings in modern times. In 1875, two megalodon teeth were brought up during a deep sea exploration by the HMS Challenger that supposedly were only 10,000 to 14,000 years old. During this time, a land bridge between North America and Asia existed, and the ancestors of the Native Americans were crossing over. if tests on the age of the huge teeth were accurate, this means that Megalodon was still alive at the end of the Pleistocene, over 2 million years after its generally agreed date of extinction. Although these teeth were confirmed to have been looking fresh due to manganese dioxide, so these teeth may not prove anything. But now to the sightings. So the first real supposed legitimate sighting occurred back in 1918, and believe it or not, Nikki, this occurred in Australia. So supposedly fishermen off the coast of Australia refused to return to the ocean after a massive shark demolished their gear and stole their crayfish pots. When further questioned, they all reported similar things. A ghostly white shark as long as the wharf they were standing on, 115 feet. Proponents of the modern persistence of Megalodon argue that these people, experienced fishermen, would have recognized a whale had they seen one. The creature frightened the fishermen so bad that they refused to work. And then finally, the only other one that we know of is another sighting occurred in the 1960s. The captain of a 26-meter fishing boat reported seeing a huge shark. Like the fishermen in Australia, he and his crew were very experienced, so it is argued that they would have known if it was a whale or not. The crew refused to say what they saw to reporters. However, the captain gave his account a few years later, but it doesn't say anything else. And of course, it says multiple videos and photographs of Megalodon have made it to YouTube and the news, but most end up being hoaxes or misidentified basking sharks.
Yeah.
So there's only ever really been 2 legitimate sightings.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
What is that? What was that?
In Cape Town, you can go. In Cape Town, you can go cage diving.
Oh yeah. Wow. I don't know if I could do that myself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm good.
Yeah,
You get
it didn't work well for Richard Dreyfuss, so I don't know.
Yeah. If you get stung, you have to sound yourself because actually you don't want to urinate on jellyfish things. There's a popular misconception that supposedly that if you urinate on a jellyfish wound, that it will make things better. It actually will make it worse. It will make it, not only is the pain going to be even worse than it already is, that can cause a serious infection. So advice to anyone whoever gets stung, do not urinate on it. Don't. If you know.
So basically that one episodes of Friends lied to you all.
Yeah, it kind of did. So yeah, don't do that. I promise you will be sorry.
Oh yes.
Check it out.
Wow. That's cool. Hey.
That's a pretty cool photo.
Awesome. Oh, here. Did you haven't seen?
That's where I was born.
PG-13 rated was not
right?
until 1984. Well, actually, in 1984, there was another film that actually was here's the thing. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, it did get a PG rating, but in 1984 was when another film called Red Dawn, that was the first PG-13 rated film. And here's the thing. PG-13 was implemented by Steven Spielberg after he realized, you know what, my movies are getting really violent and kids are seeing them, especially in Temple of Doom. You see hearts being ripped out, people being burned alive, and it's getting the same rate, PG-13 rating again. But so he decided, you know what, I'm going to create a new rating that's between PG and R. And make it appropriate for teenagers or older. So PG-13, that's how it was created. And it started with Red Dawn, another pretty brutal film. It had, Patrick Swayze. It had, Martin, Charlie Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, all kinds of big names Wow. But,
Dawn, have you seen Deepwater Horizon?
Sorry, what movie?
Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater Horizon? Don't think so.
Sounds familiar. Oh, Deepwater Horizon. Okay.
Oh, I still gotta see that. Oh, here. Babyface number 7. Wolverines. Yeah, I remember that one line. Have you seen Red Dawn, Nick?
Have I? Let me look it up to see.
You'd have to see the movie to get this reference.
Hang on once. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, you know, I guess I haven't seen this movie. I thought I did, but I guess I haven't.
Yeah, the very first PG-13 film, and it starts
World
off.
War III.
Yep, it starts off completely insane. Yeah, like
Yeah, anytime they make a movie that they make the fictional world, well, I wouldn't necessarily say fictional, but soon to be reality of World War III. Anytime they get something like that involved in a film, it's usually pretty crazy.
Yep, that film is basically Cold War paranoia in a nutshell.
And the Cold War was still going on at that time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just a few years before it finally ended in 1991.
Yeah,
It was based on a true story, apparently.
Oh, really?
That's the actual photo.
Whoa!
Oh,
jeez!
Oh,
holy cow!
Well, that oil, wow,
oil rig.
Yeah, it was an oil
and
rig.
Got etc.
Kind of reminds you of that one that we also lost over a decade ago that occurred over the Gulf of Mexico.
I remember
that entire oil leak. Oh my God, that took years to clean all that up.
It did. And South Park had the nerve to poke fun of that, saying they not only they released all that oil, they also released Cthulhu somehow.
It's South Park for you though. They do that kind of stuff.
Of course. Oh, here. Red Dawn used such great props that some government agency. Oh man, yeah, I know the props they used, especially the guns, were very convincing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they went all out on that one. But anyway, so yeah, like there's been all kinds of there have been people who were like asking for years if it would be possible to like if you shot a scuba tank, would it blow up just like in that movie? And that was proven to be not true.
Mythbusters demonstrated it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They did. I still remember like over 15 years ago. Of course, once again involving Shark Week. Mythbusters got involved in Shark Week and did a certain special, and they actually I think did a few of them. And the first one one of the first they did was kind of testing the different things that occurred in the movie Jaws, and that was one of them, the scuba air tank, to see would it really blow up. They put a shark prop up and they shot it, and it didn't blow up at all. It just let out obviously a wheeze of air, but other than that, it didn't explode at all.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's been proven to be false. That can't happen.
I learned so much stuff on this show.
Yeah, I know.
They do. They go over some pretty crazy things. Let's see. Oh yeah, like also the character named the character Quint, Robert Shaw's character, like his death was like was probably was arguably the most brutal of all because like how detailed it was, and the crazy coincidentally the fifth character to die in Quint meaning 5, meaning the number 5. So
yep,
yeah, crazy coincidence, but and then to the point where when the shark breaks through into the side of the boat, and when it shows his mouth open, and you see pieces of flesh still embedded in its teeth, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like the detailing that went into, like this, the detailing that they put into some of these things. Oh, Jesus. And it still had, and like I remember seeing like when after he threw the oxygen tank into the shark's mouth, and the shark coming towards him before right as he's shooting it, you could still see that the pieces of flesh still embedded in his teeth. That it stayed like that till the very end.
It's very much like basically a message to show not only just what's in its mouth, but just its reaction to everything. Actually, that same documentary I mentioned that Rob Reiner was in, Ron Perlman was also in it too. And he makes a good point. He says at one point that, when it starts really escalating, no matter what, it just keeps coming. And each time it does come, it's angrier and it's hungrier and it's more vengeful.
Sounds like me in the morning.
Flushing for a shark was a nightmare. Oh my God. Let's see. That explains why all the Fast and Furious movies got PG-13 rating, Ghost Riders, Transformers, and so much more. Yep, that's right. Yeah, so you could say Steven Spielberg is the reason we have PG-13. So
yep. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Had Jaws been released several years later, or had the rating been invented, they probably would have given this a PG-13 rating instead.
Yeah, if it was released today, it would have gotten that, no doubt. But like I always urge all parents when they get something for the kids, always check the ratings, whether it's a movie or a game, or especially a video game. It's like, because parents always say, "Oh, these kids are these video games and movies. Our kids are exposed to that stuff." It's like, read the content warnings, everything that's on the cases. Like,
or watch it before.
It's all right there. It says what's in the movie. It says what's in the game. It's insane.
Oh, just so you guys know, I just got a message from Lauren. I know she hasn't commented, but she's still watching the show. She's
Okay.
working on a painting that she's currently in progress of putting together.
Oh, nice.
Is it Jaws related? Because she did mention that
No,
earlier.
it's not. It's something else. It's a hummingbird painting.
I was about to say, wow, she got started on that fast.
And Nikki, I got your message saying that the lights behind me look like they're just most of the lights behind me. They're actually battery operated.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're. I think
was like,
I decorate the. That's the other thing too. When I show you guys Jack before we end, I gotta show you guys the basement like I did before, so you guys can get all of the features.
Oh yeah. Oh, here Clark Kent says he's right. Dead on. Read the ratings for M for mature games. Yes, that's true. M for mature games, like people are looking at things because all the parents complain all the time about Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption or Mortal Kombat, saying, "Oh, our kids should not be playing this." And I'm like, kids are not the target audience for games like this. So why are you buying it for them?
Read the rating, people. It's called PG for a reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah. These games in particular, they're called M for mature, and it also displays on there what's in them. Like here, if I were to let's pull, for example, let me pull this out. Look at this, Resident Evil 2, terrifying game full of zombies and monsters. Right? Let's see, rated M for mature, and it says on the back right here, blood and gore, intense violence, and strong language. I have covered this game like on my live streams, and so anybody who's watching that knows just how brutal, how gruesome this game can be. So
there's actually a film,
and there's no reason any kid should be exposed to that.
So, actually, I'm going to share the screen for a sec. Lauren just sent me a photo of the painting that she's working on. If you guys want to see it for yourselves. So, but while I'm getting that up, I was going to say there's actually one film. I'm sure you probably heard of this one, Don. This was released a few years later in the late 70s. Is that movie Tourist Trap? You know that film, Tourist Trap?
I think so.
Tourist Trap. That's kind of like the hell is this?
Well,
sorry, I just looked at all these. I don't know what this is.
I think he's going through the alphabet.
It's just like as if he's just typing. I don't know what. What?
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. What the hell is this guy?
You okay?
I have no idea who this is.
Moving on then. I don't know who this guy is. Anyways.
Nick's likes.
Okay.
You
So
got
Justin,
quite a big fan here, Don.
I get fans all the time like this, so we're good.
Yep, see Clark say he's probably drunk.
Oh, don't display don't display comments related to this here.
That's just so weird. Anyways, no, Tourist Trap. I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Okay, focus. Tourist Trap. It's like one of those pre-80s slasher films. It came out in the late 70s, and what's unusual? It's a great film. I've seen it, but yep, there's your biggest fan, Don. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you too, Justin.
Thanks.
But the rating, that rating, when they made this film it was 1979. It came out. Originally, they had the intention of making this movie an R rating to it. And the director of that movie at one point had said, "Yep, I'm focusing, Clark. Don't worry." The director of that movie, he's explained that when they released this film, Tourist Trap, they ended up getting a PG rating for this film.
Oh, wow.
And he said in the interview that they were intentionally making an R-rated film. I mean, he said he wouldn't even let his son see that film because he thought it was still, although it's not gory or hugely graphic, he thought it was relatively too violent for a little kid. But they ended up getting a PG rating instead of the intended R rating they were trying to make. So all this talk about our, ratings and stuff like that. It's also weird too that some of these movies don't get the intended rating like they were supposed to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So this is like, here.
Hey,
Leon. Hey, Leon. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Jaws is an unforgettable movie experience, especially like I forgot to mention this, Nick. Like just I actually no wait, I scratched that. I did mention this to you a couple weeks back. Close over at Park Ridge, they actually got at the historic Pickwick Theater. They actually showed Jaws like for, like it was like it's a summer screening that they do almost every year, and it was just amazing. It's the first time I've ever seen Jaws in a theater. Basically got the same experience my dad had when he first saw the movie back in '75.
I saw it last year with Tom in theaters.
Yeah. It's a completely different experience doing that. Like, but the thing is, I saw parents bringing little kids in there to see it too, and I'm just thinking, what you guys couldn't hire a sitter?
I saw the same thing when I saw it last year, but I will say this though, is that when seeing it, I'm sure you're gonna say and feel the same way about this, Don, but seeing it in the movie theater, I really felt for basically the duration of them.
I appreciate that, Justin. Sub from day one. Appreciate that.
So, I remember when I was in I think everyone would feel this way when they see a film like this. But I think throughout the entire duration of that movie, even though I've seen it, dozens of times, like almost, I mean, it's essentially a summer film, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
But when you're watching in theaters, it felt like the entire duration. I felt like for 2 hours I was in 1975 watching it. It really does make you feel like you're back in time.
Yeah, it's
an era you never lived.
Yeah, it's a movie. That movie's a real time capsule.
Yeah. I often wonder what it'll be like, when the 100th anniversary comes up. But of course, that's not for another 50 years. Hopefully, I don't even know if we're still going to be around at that point.
Jill.
Hey, Jill! She made it!
Hey, Jill.
Oh my God, Jill!
Hey, Jill. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's doing well.
Yes, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss having you on here. We really do.
Everybody on the network misses you. Oh wow, this is quite exciting.
Yes, it is.
Clark
we all love you too, Jill. I saw it too. I saw parents bring their kids, and the expression was like, "What the?" Yeah, I know, right? It's like, hey, at least they're not bringing them to see Cannibal Holocaust. I would hate that. I would have a serious issue if parents brought their kids to see that.
Or even worse, like a movie like Eli Roth's Hostel. Can you imagine they brought their kids to a movie like that? Oh
my God. Or Human Centipede.
Or oh my God.
Oh, I hate even picturing that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But
or most recently, put it this way, Dot, or even more recently, imagine if parents brought their kids to see the new Evil Dead Rise movie.
Oh my God. No, hang on. One second, Nick. Here, let me show you.
Uh-oh. What have I done?
No.
It's for me, I think.
Okay.
No, it's nothing bad. Hang on. 1 second.
I think I'm in trouble. What have I done?
Oh, and actually, while you're getting that up, Don,
no, wait, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Evil Dead Rise is now
They
on
already
Max.
have it available?
Yep, it's on Max. HBO Max.
Wow.
Yep, you can watch it on there. They have all the Evil Dead movies on.
Sorry, that looks funny.
Yep, they have all the Evil Dead movies on there now.
That's awesome, including Ash versus Evil Dead?
Not the show, the movies, I said.
Okay. Well, no, I just wondered because I know the series is considered part of the franchise.
Yep. Okay, don't display. Don't display.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to say, I don't know. I have
Wait,
no idea what Justin's talking about.
Here, Jill is saying my nephew has made it home yesterday.
Yes.
Oh,
okay, good.
Made it
good.
home. I'm really hoping he's doing better.
I hope so too.
Yes.
Their kids would be traumatized for life. I think he's referring to those other movies that we were talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. No, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, they would be traumatized for life. It's like, oh my god! It's like these are movies that I cannot even like. I feel like that are not for sensitive viewers, much less children. No kids.
Yeah.
It's like Cannibal Holocaust. Like Cannibal Holocaust. You're out of your mind if you think that's a movie to be showing to kids.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
Been watching all the replays, but just want to say keep it up. Oh, thank you so much, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
Yes.
Very quickly, I just want to show that painting. Here's that painting I was telling you about. She's still working on it, but it will give you guys an idea of what it looks like.
Awesome.
So check it. Check this out.
Ooh. Wow.
That's really well done. Very colorful.
Wow. Yeah, I was about to say I love the color. I love the saturated. Like this is great.
That's amazing. I really can't wait to see how it's going to look when Lauren's finished on. I know she's not commenting, but I know she's watching. But seriously, fantastic job, Lauren. Is Nikki back? By the way, I can't see when I'm doing this, unfortunately.
Nikki. Yeah, she has our mic off.
I'll just reshare it for her when she comes back.
No, she's here.
Wait, here she is. Yeah, here's that painting, Lauren. Nick. Yeah. Oh, you did see it. Okay. Very cool. Beautiful work of art.
That's very pretty.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's nice. Yeah. So, yeah, this has been great discussing this film. So not next week because it's going to be 4th of July. We're all going to be out there celebrating America's birthday. But the week after, we will come back. And I'm trying to decide which one we should cover first. Should we cover Deep Blue Sea? Nick, you have still yet to see this, right?
I know. I still got to see it.
Give it a week.
Yeah. So we got to cover this or the Meg. Because we got yeah, both of which are essential for shark fans. So, yeah, like us now we've got Shark Week going on right now. Like, so we're making this our Shark Month. We're making July. Yeah, we're making July our Shark Month. So,
yeah. What do you think, Nikki? I can't decide.
That's okay. I can't make it next week or the week after. I'm going to say the second one.
The Meg?
The Meg? Yeah. Oh, we should cover that. We should cover that next. Okay. We could do that. All right. I just wanted everybody's opinions. I mean, obviously, like as the host of the show, it's my final call, obviously. Yeah. But I just like hearing other people's opinions on what we should cover. That's all. But yeah, if everybody wants us to cover the Meg, we can do that.
Yeah, and that one I've seen. That's a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, right now I believe it's available on Hulu now. So if anybody who hasn't seen it, be sure to catch it on Hulu before Tuesday or for not this next Tuesday, the following Tuesday when we come back. Oh, here, okay, Sharknado.
Oh.
I mean, it's like sure, Sharknado is bad, but it's a funny kind of bad.
Yeah, it is, and they even use like footage from Shark Week in that movie. Like there is like pieces of footage of like when they show like the shark, but it's on the thing. I've seen that footage before.
Yep. Oh, here. DJ saying the final battle between Chief Martin Brody and the shark itself was so intense, nail biting, and suspenseful, but overall bad. Yep, no argument there. It was a very intense moment. Yep, it was a very intense moment.
I'm just gonna say this, Don. I mean, whichever these shark movies we want to follow through. I don't know if we're gonna have more people coming on. I mean, I know it was relatively small, but if anyone else ends up coming on to the show, any of the other show hosts, I'm just gonna tell you this right now, Don. If it's more than we can handle, you're going to need a bigger boat.
or in this instance, we're gonna need a bigger screen.
Yeah, or a bigger studio. Oh God, I remember this movie, Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, I remember when that came out.
That
Yeah,
was like early
remember-
2000s. I was still in middle
Yeah.
school when that came out.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez. The director basically made that because based on his kids' dreams. So
Whatever happened to Robert Rodriguez? You don't hear from him as much anymore.
he made a much better film after this, in Grindhouse.
Well, he also
Yeah,
used to run a channel.
Planet Terror. Yeah, I was about to say Planet Terror. Now that's a good movie.
Well, he also had a channel of his own for a number of years. Did you remember that, Don? He ran a channel, a television
Yeah, I know
channel.
that. Yep.
Yeah, it was El Rey Network, which El Rey Network, I gotta say, I don't know why they ended that channel. I know that was more of a I know they say that was more of a channel for Latin American audiences, but either way, everything they showed was always English shows. They often would show like a lot of like exploitation films of the 70s and 80s. They showed classic horror films. Hell, they even somehow had the rights, and this one I thought was really awesome. They even had the rights to showing the Godzilla movies on that channel. That's what I love. El Rey Network was awesome. I don't know why they ended up ending that channel.
I don't know, but
I think even
El
Jaws
Rey
was on at one point.
That's El Rey.
Yep.
Character from Planet Terror. That's where it came from.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know that, but that makes a whole lot of sense. But I think even Jaws was even once broadcast on El Rey Network. It was essentially.
Oh, was it?
It might have been. I thought they showed something, but again, it was, in spite of being more for Latin American audiences, it was basically again a channel that was to show like old movies and whatnot, different genres, and it was I used to watch it on several occasions because that was also where they made the television series for the movie From Dusk Till Dawn. They made From Dusk Till Dawn the series, so all of this was created under Robert Rodriguez's direction. And I don't know why they ended up ending the channel. It was a fan. It didn't even run for even 10 years. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great show. It was great while it lasted.
And also, Nikki's got. I just saw your message, Nikki. We probably will have to end this because Nikki said she's got to leave in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're about to wrap this up. Yeah.
Or a bigger bag.
Yeah. But so, if you guys haven't, I just gotta say, it's summertime. If you like shark movies and if you haven't seen Jaws, then man, oh man, are you missing out?
Yeah.
One of the biggest blockbusters of all time for a great reason. Excellent acting, like just terrifying moments. The music is like some of the most suspenseful music you'll ever hear. And it was the movie that basically propelled Steven Spielberg to stardom and making all kinds of amazing, remarkable films ever since. And I should know, I'm a pretty big fan of his work. Yeah, like one of my recent favorites.
Nick, if you haven't seen this one, I highly recommend it. Ready Player One. This is one of his more recent films.
It's funny you brought that up. I could have seen it when I had the chance when it was in theaters because this was 5 years? Yeah, 5 years ago now. When Tom and we went down to Peoria for one of Willie Atkins' film festivals, which really wasn't that big of a success. But the cool part was we had it at a movie theater, and we actually had free access to go see like any movie we pretty much wanted to see. Unfortunately, I was watching a lot of the films that were being shown at the film festival. I could have seen a movie like Ready Player One for free. With it just walking in, but I didn't think about that time. I should have done it when I had the chance. Although they showed one other movie that we did see recently at that time, and this was not a good movie as good as we thought it was going to be. That was also when they were showing that movie Truth or Dare.
Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
It's not that good of a movie, Nikki. They tried to make it good, but it really wasn't.
No,
and they're also trying to make a sequel. In spite of how bad it was, they still want to make a sequel out of that movie.
Man.
They're just wasting their time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up here, guys. So
I just got two two quick. Well, first off, I got to show you guys Jack quickly. But just before I do, I just want to say quick announcements for the other shows for this upcoming week. So for tomorrow afternoon for Nick Files, we're going to be focusing on. So I know, obviously, well, Don, you've been with me on this, where when we went to Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, and that gets a lot of the center of attention for being historic and haunted, but it turns out there's actually multiple other haunted and historic locations in throughout the town of Mansfield that don't really get that much attention. So we're going to be focusing on a lot of the haunted and historical locations throughout the town of Mansfield. So it should be, some of them also even served a place in that movie, Shawshank Redemption. So a lot of things that most people don't seem to know about. So it'll be kind of like a movie talk tomorrow. For Thursday, To the Grave and Back with me, Lois, and Grizzly. We're going to be talking about the Hillside Stranglers that occurred back in the LA area in the late 70s. So that'll definitely be a very interesting conversation. Then for Thursday night on Supernatural Talk with me, Jeremy, Adrian, and Eileen, we will be interviewing Nikki, you might know who these are. I don't think you know who they are, Don. Pac-Men Paranormal, Ernie and Denise Pack. So I'm not sure really what we're going to be talking about, but I know they're going to be on this upcoming Thursday. And then finally, for the Frighteners on Friday with me, Lois, once again, Ian and Bry, we're interviewing Denise Pridemore. In fact, you remember Denise, right, Don?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Paranormal Nation Radio. We'll be interviewing her this upcoming Friday. So a lot of exciting stuff. Hopefully you guys can tune in. It'll be really fun for the next couple of days. And then obviously Don's, like you said, to kind of just give like a repeat message is obviously there is no Fear Fans next week because it's 4th of July. So we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep, that's right.
So just before we get off, you guys want to see Jack as well as the Jack decorations?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm going to take you guys on a ride with me. All right, here we go. So first off, let's do the solo layout so you guys can get a better view. So here's how it looks like right now on this side of the basement.
Oh, cool.
Of course, the other side is obviously the main attraction. Not this area, but just showing a little bit more around. Got the flags up. Now this right here. These lights here are brand new, these icicle lights.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
What I always do too is I always decorate the fireplace just as a display. Very impressive, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So now let's take you guys over to see Jack. Here we go.
Let's see Jack.
You better not be a doll. Or else I'm going. Does he have red hair, Nick?
No, he doesn't. Sorry, I just need to on broadcast right now. So here he is, guys.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Decked out in his full Uncle Sam costume.
Oh, even Zero's got a hat.
Yep, even Zero's got a hat right here. So this is actually considered one of our favorites with him being fully dressed up. So there you guys go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet. Wow.
So
Until
next holiday that I'll be doing something like this won't be until Halloween. So sadly, once again, after this, it will be a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, well, guys, I had so much fun jumping into this.
Thanks,
and talking about the movie that inspired me to study film. And yes, happy 4th of July to you as well, Jill. Yeah, everybody. I just want to say, everybody. Yes, I just want to say, everybody, have a very safe 4th of July. Careful with the fireworks, and that's all. Enjoy America's birthday. So,
And just a few years is when America will turn 250. Can you believe it? 250 years.
Wow.
3 years from now.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to join us in not next Tuesday, the following Tuesday when we come back and talk about the Meg. Really looking forward to it. So that's all for now. Have a good night, everybody.
Happy 4th of July.